Hello again, this is Mark with Isaiah Industries, and in this segment we're going to be looking at a situation that you might run into on a roof where you've got a shed dormer, and alongside of that shed dormer, of course, you're going to be needing to put sidewall flashing, and in this particular session we're going to have gable edge trim at the top. I've already bent some of these pieces up, and I can put it in place here just to show you how they're going to fit together. This is the sidewall channel, and the main thing that I want to point out with regard to this is that I didn't cut this material off that extends up above the shed dormer. Instead, I simply bent it over the shed dormer so that we have a continuous piece of metal here. Here you can see the back of the sidewall flashing that I've already bent up. And you can see that I've marked a bend line here where this extra metal comes over the main part of the shed roof. Notice also I have a tab that's going to wrap around the front. And one real helpful technique to keep in mind is that whenever you have this metal exposed past an edge, to take the metal from up here and wrap it down around so that we have painted metal over the unexposed metal. And this is my gable edge trim, kind of F profile. And I want to do the same thing with this. I don't want to cut this material off out here. What I want to do is bend it out so that it's going to come out on top of the ledge in the sidewall flashing. I've made a little hook at the top of it so that it's actually going to hook onto this ledge at the top. And notice I've brought it out and I've wrapped it around the ledge on the sidewall channel. So now I have a completely waterproof system in here and in here. The only place of possible concern at this point is going to be at the very top where the two pieces come together. So why don't we go ahead at this point, and I'm going to just tack this into place. Again, notice that the bottom of my water return channel is going to extend a 1/2 inch beyond my drip edge. Again, I've wrapped this around here, and I've wrapped this direction. That'll hook on top of the channel on the sidewall. It's going to come all the way over. And then, as always, I'm going to attach this to the roof with clips every 12 inches. Before I do that, I'm going to take a piece of starter strip and go across the front of the dormer. Notice, as usual, I've got a little tab that comes around the side. And again, if you look at this whole assembly from this direction, you'll notice that the painted metal comes down over the unpainted metal. As we come to the top of the shed dormer, we're going to have a pitch change or a transition here from a relatively low slope to a more steep slope. What I want to do here is I've cut an extra piece of underlayment. I want to weave it up underneath the course above, and I want to bring it down all the way to the point of this top course of shingles. I'm going to have a piece of metal flashing that's going to hook into this top lock and come up underneath this. And then I'm going to put an anchor strip across to connect the top of this course of shingles to the top of that course of shingles. All right, we have progressed now to the place where we've got the shingles to the top of the shed dormer, and we're at our pitch change, our transition. And I've taken a piece of coil stock and In this case, our coil stock is 24 inches wide, so I just chose 12 inches as a convenient cut to split it in half. And I've made my piece here just wide enough that it's going to extend to the outside of the F channel, or close to the outside of the F channel, the gable channel on both sides. I want to be able to slip this piece of flashing down inside of my receiving channel on the gable edge trim, and I want it to be able to come down far enough that my 3/4 inch or 5/8 inch underturned hem is going to hook into the top lock of my top course of shingles. I'm trying to accomplish a couple of things here. Obviously, I want to be able to put a piece of starter strip up here, or anchor strip, in order to connect my two upper courses. I want to be able to shed any water out on top of the shingles. And I also wanted to incorporate these tabs that will cover up the intersection of my two pieces up here at the top. Again, you want to seal this real well with sealant, that point of possible water intrusion. But as a primary water stop, I'm going to use this tab, which is going to come over the top, and any water that comes down is going to be diverted either to the right or to the left, but will not meet at that intersection between the two pieces. And I want to cut this relief just far enough up so that I can slide this down and hook it over the top of that top lock. Okay, I've got my transition piece in place, fully engaged into the lock and centered side by side. I've taken this upper piece of underlayment and curled it up so that I can come underneath and nail my flashing to the deck. Okay, as I have mentioned, at the top intersection of these two pieces, I want to make sure that I seal this real well, and then again that this tab is centered on the place where those two pieces come together. And then I'm going to fold the tab down over the top. I'm going to take a stainless steel sheet metal screw and secure this down to the gable edge trim. And again, we can come back and we can put some extra sealant here at the sides, but any water that comes down should be diverted one way or the other. Next, I'm going to take my underlayment and I'm going to fold it down over my transition metal. And then I'm going to take a piece of anchor strip, which I've cut to the appropriate width, and I'm able to position my anchor strip in such a fashion that it's going to connect the two sides. And now we should be all set to continue our shingling right across the top of the shed dormer. So next I'm going to start to extend the panels over the top of the shed dormer. And when I make this transition here from the top lock of this course to the anchor strip, I needed to make a little relief cut here so that I can bend this down, because these two locks are not quite on the same plane, but that's really not a problem. So I've opened this up a little and given myself enough room that I can slide it over and then slide it into the lock. I'm going to put it in and make sure that my shingle is fully engaged. The rubber handle of a hammer does a good job of getting that in place. I'm going to take a wooden block and put it into the side lock. I don't want to hammer on the outside. I want to make sure it's in like this so that I don't damage that side lock. And then tap it into place. And then nail the shingle into place. Need to do the same thing on this side. I'm going to make a relief cut and bend that down in order to make the transition.
Best Buy Metals is a nationwide distributor of KasselWood steel shingles, along with other premium metal shingles manufactured by Isaiah Industries. Specializing in superior customer support and service, Best Buy has a team ready to help you determine the ideal roofing solution for your project. With core values such as committed customer service, expert-level knowledge, and creativity, along with over 50 years of combined experience, Best Buy's team is the perfect partner to ensure your project goes smoothly. Contact Best Buy Metals today at 1-800-728-4010 or online at www.bestbuymetals.com.